Today we're changing the entire island. No, I'm just kidding, we're not. But I do need to clear this entire section because the elevated portion where the land is going to go is split into different sections. And I need to extract this one here because I started working on the coastline that swerves all the way down there toward the causeway. But I want to continue working on the coastline today, specifically in front, so we can make the front of it look better. And I just think I need to get that coastline done. Granted, I'm not going to have enough pieces to get the entire thing done right now. I'm just waiting for a Lego GWP. And then once there's a good GWP, I'll order some more parts. But right now, there's like no incentive to place big tab orders, you know, like I don't really want to place a big tab order right now. There's no incentive at all. But I do need to order some more pieces, and I will be doing that in the very near future. But I want to clear this here to continue working on the coastline. Why is that important? Well, we exposed this wood platform right here, and I was discussing making a swerving coastline, and we started doing that here. And this one bulges out, but I want to make one come in. And in order to do that, I have to remove this platform. But I only have to remove a small section of it, specifically one base plate worth. So what I'm going to do is actually notch this platform here, one base plate. So I'm going to use the base plate as my template here, and I'm going to trace out a square, and then I'm going to use a jigsaw, bring this thing outside and just cut this notch. And once I have that notch cut, we'll be able to create a nice angle with these rock panels, bringing it in and leaving more water out here, which I think will change the dynamic a little bit. So yeah, that's the first task today. Notch this platform, move the leg, and then we can continue building the coastline. Sounds good to me. There's still a lot of people pushing for the no road island, the no causeway island, just ferry access. Yeah, that would be cool. If I ever run out of space, I have demonstrated in the past how I could create a layout with very few roads. Remember when I took all of the modular buildings from over there and I put them over here and there was like 1 or 2 roads and there was a canal and just like mostly walking paths? We could definitely do that if we ever run out of space. But we have so much space here. I don't know how I could fill this table without having roads, and I think roads is important. But if we ever run out of space, we could definitely look into having no roads. You know, I'm going with the angled road scenario here. I think that's going to be different. I was thinking one thing that we could do is this causeway could come here, and then it could angle until it meets the center, like the road that is. And then we could have it go straight all the way to the end, and there could be like a traffic circle on the end. And this is where vehicles could turn around, head back that way, and they could also go this way off the island, another bridge, right? And if I were to do that, this is 5 base plates deep, so it could be, let's see here, road in the center, right? And then modular building, modular building, modular building, modular building, sort of back to back. And we could fit a ridiculous amount of modular buildings or parks in this area, or walking paths or whatever it may be. So I could reduce it to just one central road with the angled effect there, and we could fit a ton of modular buildings and park space and walk space and gardens and all that stuff on this surface, and I could significantly reduce the roads. Could do that too, that's always an option. But we've got lots of time to think about because we've got to get this coastline done. We've got to build the causeway entrance because I know that's for sure going to be part of the plans. We need to figure out what we're going to do here where there's no raised platform and there's all this area. This will probably get notched and cascade down. So yeah, we've got to get the base construction done before we even start thinking about buildings at this point. All right, you know me. I'm going to make a spreadsheet and show you what I mean. So this is sort of what the island could look like, right? We've got the base plates of water off to the side there where this can sort of cascade down and be land and beach or Ferris wheel or pier or whatever it may be, maybe a dock, right? We could do some cool stuff here with boats or anything like that. Then we've got the water going around the entire perimeter. We've got the road there. This is just really rough, but it would be angled right there. So, of course, it wouldn't take up that many base plates, but we'd have the angled road. So a little angled section and then a straight with a turnaround here. The turnaround wouldn't take up 6 base plates. It would be smaller than that. Probably be on like a 48 by 48 or something. And then the bridge going off. And all of this could be dedicated to building or park or whatever it may be. Like we could have a park right here and buildings in behind. Like this is a lot of modular buildings. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22. That's 44, 50 modular buildings. That's pretty insane. But I don't think we need to do this at this point because we have enough space to do more unique angled roads throughout the entire platform. But yeah, this is definitely an idea that we could run with. So I went through and I scoured every single drawer and cupboard in the parts inventory there, searching for rectangular rock panels, and I managed to find 48 of them, so it's definitely not too bad. Each rock panel is 10 studs. So that's 480 studs worth of rock panels divided by 32 studs, which of course is a base plate. It's going to give us exactly 15 base plates worth of coastline. So 15. Can't quite stretch across the entire front there, but it's going to get us pretty close. So that's exciting. Oh yeah, then of course we've got the ones right here. So, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 70 studs. It's another 2 base plates. Maybe we'll get it done with a combination of brick. If I ever get started. I'm just kidding. We're already started. So yeah, gotta get a base plate there and figure out how we're gonna do that. Let's go. The next 2 panels have been installed. So we got this one here, which is just a small one. 2 base plates. There's probably going to be a road exit here, so I left these a little bit lower, and I can just remove that if I need to modify it. And these actually would be pretty easy to modify no matter what. There's just like a little structure on the back there. You can see mostly the 1x2x5 panels are used for support. And this one was built a little bit differently because it's that corner. So I had to build up this whole corner here. I didn't want to make the rocks go all the way in because then we just have more right angles, but I had to make the notch and build up the base plate in order to get that angle there. And this one I built with one of the Technic panels, and that does a pretty good job of supporting it all. And then there's some more of the supports in there with the 1x16 bricks and just sort of bridged across, so it's all fully supported. Sort of an interesting shape, that one there, hey? I definitely don't need to attach this exterior base plate. This might be a good spot for the lighthouse. I had that in mind. The only problem I have with the lighthouse being there is me accidentally bumping into it as I come around here. Might be a dangerous spot for the lighthouse. It would look really good there, but it might be a little bit dangerous, of course. I would have to move my big roll of bubble wrap in my little kid's table there. But I just feel like that is an accident waiting to happen. But look at the angle. It's definitely a little bit different. I like how we have the 2 different effects there now. The one with the notch and the one with the bulge. I think that is a good contrast, giving it a nice shape. Now, I'm trying to think here, what do I do? Do I build the rest all the way along and just say, okay, in the future, if I want to change it, we can very easily change a small section of it? I don't know if I want to do any more notches. For example, I could come in here and I could notch this half base plate out and we could have it come in a little bit and there could be like a little inlet. But do I necessarily need to do that? Not really, because we can bring these rock panels as far out as we would like. I could bring them, so there's, I don't know, 4 studs, and you could have them way out here, and then we can create an inlet just using the Lego. So I don't know if I want to notch it, because notching it, well, it sort of permanently sets that into the wood. I mean, you can always just replace the wood if you don't like the notch anymore. But I feel like that should just come in the future. And I feel like I should just build the whole coastline. Like, why wouldn't I? And sure, some places might be built out with bricks rather than the rock panels, so it's a little more gradual, like we plan on doing over there or whatever it may be. But once again, you can always just change that later. If I want to add a staircase here, it's not hard just to extract one rock panel and build a staircase. But where are those staircases going to go? Where are those little inlets going to go? At this point, I don't know, because we haven't finalized the layout yet, right? So it's hard to build this coastline for the specifics when we're not really at the specific stage yet. We're more at like the rough draft. But I just want to get it done just so that it looks more visually appealing, and then I can sort of work toward that end goal of, you know, figuring out the layout. So yeah, I think I just sold myself on completing the remaining base plates on the front here, which is 14 more base plates. So I guess here it is before and after. So yeah, that looks a little bit better. We can't see that exposed wood anymore. I guess we can still see the wood of the table legs, but eventually I'm gonna buy the black skirting, and we're gonna deal with that once I put the underwater area either there or there. Pretty cool, hey? Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to get that coastline done there. And you know what? We still got to add more detail and more pieces to it. So for example, all of this will get like bulked up with like 2x2 bricks, 1x2 bricks, all that, and built up. And then there'll be a final layer of slopes and vegetation, just like we do with all of our other rock panel detailing techniques, right? But yeah, this is nice. It hugs the platform here, and it comes out, and goes back in, comes out a little bit, and comes back out, and then eventually it'll wrap around this corner. Still not sure what we're gonna do there in regards to notching this platform. We'll probably take this corner out so we can start coming in like that. But I really don't know what's going down over here. Thinking like a little mini harbor, like a little mini dock. And we can also do like little islands or something. Yeah, there's a lot that we can do here. That's cool. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about just like the opportunity that this island has opened up for us here. We have so many different options with things that we can do. A lot of people want me to put the amusement park here. The reason I'm not putting the amusement park here is because I think it's gonna be too tall, and it's not something that I want to look at right when I come down the stairs. I want to look at like a downtown. Also, a lot of people want me to put an airport here. I still think that airports are a huge waste of space, and I don't really want to build an airport. So I don't think this city will ever have an airport. I wanted to move the modular buildings, or at least some of them here, to free up space from the Lego city over there, so that we can do other things, maybe at airport. I'm not sure yet, I probably not though. But I can just alleviate more space and also create more space for future modular buildings, also custom modular buildings. I wanna start doing things like that. And I also wanna start experimenting with more angled roads and all that. And in order to do that, you need a lot more space, because angled roads take up a lot more space than your standard roads. So I'm just trying to use this space here to alleviate space from the main Lego City tables, and just to do something different so that we can try different things and start building different things. We just need the space to expand our downtown, because our downtown was literally full. So why not open this up for downtown? That's why I decided to move a few modular buildings here. Nothing crazy. They were all back there by the amusement park. Other than the two that were right there, the Tudor Corner and the Palace Cinema, I moved those the other day. Just for example, I'll probably put those back. But all the other modular buildings that I grabbed were right over, or were from right over here, which is the bowling alley, and then a little row of modulars right back there. So this area sort of remains untouched. It wasn't really done anyway, it wasn't detailed or anything, and that is starting to free up space right here to experiment with something else. Because we're gonna have the amusement park there, we could take this entire block and do something completely different altogether. If I continue to move a few more modular buildings over onto the new island expansion, specifically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not those ones, but 6 in general, then I can migrate this block over here somewhere, wherever it may be, and then we can free up that space there for a completely different project. Something right before the amusement park, or make the amusement park even larger, or put an airport there. But I love modular buildings, so that's why I want to start shifting some of the modular buildings forward. And I also want to start building like little buildings, like these little mini modular buildings I think would be perfect for the island. So if I were to build more things like that, sort of like that half base plate, shorter than your average modular building, like not quite as tall, little like, I don't know, island town style stuff, I think that would look really cool over here. And that's why I decided to move the shorter bowling alley. That might be good, might be something good to have on the island. Also, these shorter custom buildings that I have, this alternate model that I built using one of the older sets there, and some of this like shorter, colorful, rebrickable model style stuff might look cool here. It'd be like an island town, right? So that's sort of what I want to try and go for here. I want to have like a lot of park space, a lot of things that you would find in like a little island town, and it can always change. That's the beauty of modular buildings, is we can always cycle things through. But I think having like a little island town here would be really cool, and I think more interesting than a giant airport. And I think it's better to have the little experimental island town here opposed to an amusement park. I think if I put a roller coaster here, all you're going to see is this giant loop coaster popping up and blocking the view of the zoo and the downtown and the countryside. If I got a big roller coaster right here, I don't think it's going to look that good. So that's one of the reasons why I don't want to put the amusement park here, and I just don't want to dedicate this space to a big gray airport. Now it's funny, I'm actually a day ahead right now. So this video, I'm filming it on Sunday and it comes out on Tuesday. So it's always funny reading the comments from the day before. I'm like, I'm already working on that. I'm already doing this. I already have content scheduled. It's pretty funny, but I'm just so happy we were able to get the coastline done today. I think it was just something that needed to be done. It's squaring up the tables and it's just providing a better visual. I think the next thing that I need to do is probably start working on the causeway, come up with a design for that. I also need to clean up this area right here because my primary Lego city is not looking good at all. So I probably need to jump over here, just take a day to fix up all this, build some mills plates, fill this all in, get the connection point done there, fill in these base plates, just figure out what we're doing here. So I think that's pretty important. And then another thing that I want to do in the very near future is just start testing some layouts with this. I did free up a bunch of space over there, as you saw, around like the construction site and all that. So I can actually just grab all those road plates. They're modular, so they're easy to move. And I can start testing different layouts with those road plates until we order more. Because it's not really going to affect the main core of downtown, just the part right before the amusement park, which is sort of still under construction. So I may as well start testing some layouts. Well, at least maybe test one layout like the one you saw earlier on the spreadsheet. Another day down, everybody. I am just so excited about this island project. It is amazing. Mrs. Bricksie's back tomorrow because it's no longer the weekend. And her and I are going to work on that water too. So water, causeway, testing a new layout, fixing all the stuff in the foreground of the Lego city, and continuing to chip away at this exciting project. Who knows, maybe I'll jump back into the countryside and do a little bit of stuff over there this week as well. But I hope you enjoy the Lego City content. There's a lot of it now because we have such a big project that's new and exciting and sort of refreshing to work on. Yeah. All right. Have yourselves a great day and bye for now.